All right, let's dig into the headlines here. You know, a 66-year-old man is now in the hospital in critical condition after what started as a disturbance at his home in Harris County ended with a deputy-involved shooting.
Well, deputies were called to the home on Wasley Court near Highway 290 and Highway 6 last night. A woman told them she'd been kicked out of the home and that her husband was drunk and may have a weapon. Now, according to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, when deputies tried to talk to the man, he fired shots at them. We're told one deputy was injured but was not hit by gunfire.
Our deputy, we do not believe was struck by gunfire, but he does have a laceration on his forehead, but they're still running tests here at the hospital, so we're very grateful for the staff here at HCA for the attention they're giving him. Families here are deputies in good spirits and trying to stay positive, but obviously, shaken from the incident.
Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez says 3 deputies were involved in the shooting. 2 have been with the department for a year, and the other deputy was said to have been with the agency for 11 years.
And in East Harris County, a man shot a robber on Victoria Street.
Anthony Cantera allegedly approached another man at gunpoint and stole his wallet and keys. Now, when other residents confronted him, Cantera fired his weapon and one resident returned fire. He got away but was later found with a gunshot wound. Cantera was charged with aggravated robbery and is suspected in other robberies. He remains in the hospital in fair condition.
Well, Houston ISD teachers now filing a lawsuit against the district's board of managers and Superintendent Mike Miles.
Yeah, they claim they were illegally denied state-funded pay raises. The Houston Federation of Teachers is accusing the board and the superintendent of mismanaging funds by excluding promised raises from House Bill 2 in the new compensation plan. The suit states teachers are owed $2,000 to $5,000 raises based on experience. The union seeks a temporary restraining order to halt actions with HB 2 funds until the case is resolved.
And Dolores Dottie Osteen, the mother of Lakewood Church pastor Joel Osteen, has passed away.
Well, Lakewood Church posted a picture along with a statement on their Facebook page. It says, in part, she was the beloved matriarch of Lakewood Church, an inspiration to millions of people around the world, and a faithful servant of God. She passed of natural causes peacefully at her home. She was 91 years old. Well, firefighters quickly put out a fire in southeast Houston just hours ago.
So, unfortunately, the house on Maggot Street destroyed. Look there's hardly anything there. A few neighbors' cars also were burned. Now, the headline here, the good news is that no one was injured, thank goodness. A district chief on the scene talked about how hard the firefighters have to work during the summer heat to make sure they're doing their job, but also staying safe and healthy.
There were no injuries despite being a long day. A lot of these guys, it's their third fire of the day. They're pretty beat up from the heat at this point because even now you notice it's still 90 degrees outside. So they've had quite a day today. I typically, when we do a fire like this, we will add an additional engine company or two right away to supplement these guys and put fresh people into the firefight quicker and let people get out and rest.
Now, Chief Kamen says they were able to get that fire under control in about 10 minutes. Now, what caused that fire? That's under investigation right now. You know, Houston police warning women right now, you've got to be extra aware while walking along trails at Buffalo Bayou Park.
Yeah, the warning comes after multiple women reported being groped from behind by a man on a bike. This has been happening all summer long, and one of the first reports was from Andrea Mackey. She says she was groped by the man while walking her dog on the morning of July 10th. She said he took off riding a dark-colored bike and wearing a red helmet. Well, since then, several other women have made similar reports about a man on a bike.
He came up to me, he grabbed me in my private areas, like from behind, like genitals, and he just squeezed and groped really hard. It was so fast that I really couldn't react. I couldn't see his face. And then by that time I looked up, he was just going and gone.
Goodness. Well, Houston police say right now they are investigating 3 assaults.
Good grief. Also, an alleged serial rapist expected in court this morning. Carl Redfield Jr. arrested last week after women reported being sexually assaulted at his home in the Cypress area. Now, authorities say that he was using dating apps and bars to meet the women that he then assaulted, sometimes recording the assaults. Now, authorities believe that there could be more victims out there as well, asking if you have any information about any of these attacks that you step forward and share what you know.
And if you or someone you know has been a victim of sexual assault or domestic violence, there is help. You can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 800-799-7233. It is free, confidential, and available 24 hours a day. Now, Houston police are asking for your help finding multiple suspects in 2 different robberies.
All right, the first one was at a shoe store on Scott Street on Houston's south side. 2 men went into the store about 1:30. This is in January, mind you, but take a look at the video and the pictures here. They took clothes, shoes, threatened a store employee before taking off in a gray VW SUV. Now, the suspects believed to be between 18 and 23 years old. And in Pearland, police are looking to identify 5 masked people involved in a smash and grab robbery at a jewelry store inside a food town. Now, the suspects here shattered the display cases and stole thousands in jewelry. True definition of smash and grab. Now, they were able to get away in a black SUV. So if you have information on either of those robberies, you're asked to reach out to Crime Stoppers. That number is 713-222-TIPS. You can always call that number anonymously if it makes you more comfortable.
New research suggests Houstonians definitely want more entertainment options in our city and that many are willing to pay for it.
And the study done by the University of Houston's Hobby School of Public Affairs, more than 2/3 of those surveyed say they do want a major amusement park. More than 3/5 said they want a WNBA or NHL team here. A majority also say they would be in favor of some public money going towards supporting the Astrodome and NRG Stadium.
Entertainment options. If you compare Dallas to Houston, Dallas has 2 amusement parks, or will by next year. They have a WNBA team. They have an NHL team. Houston doesn't have any amusement park, and we don't have an WNBA team or an NHL team. If there's anything that surprised me was the strong public support for spending public money to help renovate the Astrodome as an entertainment venue. The fact that more than 3/5 of Harris County residents said that was a good thing and that was something they support, that was a little surprising. But I guess, not unexpected given the strong ties many Harris County residents have to the Astrodome, either from their youth or their parents' youth.
And Mark Jones had plenty more to say to our Rashi Vaz, so you can actually watch that entire interview today at 2 o'clock on Houston Live and Local. That's on the free Fox Local app for your smartphone and TV.
On other news this morning, the Texas Senate and House Select Committees will hold a hearing today in Kerrville on flood relief efforts. The meeting will allow lawmakers to question local officials on their response to the disaster that killed 138 people July 4th. Communication efforts are under scrutiny as it's unclear if evacuation alerts were sent out as quickly as they could have been.
All right, so redistricting here in Texas. A first draft of the new proposed congressional map has been released. Now, the move could give Republicans an advantage in 5 more districts in the U.S. House.
Our Jay Fleury is here in the studio to explain what this means for Houston and how politicians are responding.
Good morning, you guys. Yeah, the proposed new map shifts district in major cities, including Dallas, Austin, and right here in Houston. And this proposed map basically shuffles voters into new districts and could play a key role in determining which party controls the U.S. House of Representatives. The map changes districts that are currently held by Democrats, especially in Houston and Dallas, and could turn solid blue areas into Republican wins. Governor Greg Abbott added redistricting to the agenda for the special legislative session, citing concerns by Trump's Department of Justice that 4 Democratic-leaning districts are unconstitutional. Democrats say that the map hurts minority voters, and members of the Texas Legislative Progressive Caucus spoke out against the potential proposed redistricting map on Wednesday.
This is an egregious, craven power grab by Republicans. They are afraid of voters and they are trying to silence the voters. Trump is running scared, and that's what this map is about.
We're going to continue to speak truth to power. We're going to continue to push back and do everything. Everything is on the table.
Now, some Republicans argue that the district lines were already illegally gerrymandered along racial and party lines and must have been redrawn. The proposed congressional map could still be changed during this special session. Denise.
Okay, thank you. Well, the Texas Senate has advanced a bill to ban THC for a second time.
All right, so this would ban all hemp products that have THC, from everything from gummies to beverages. Now, the legislation does allow for items designated as CBD and CBG. It also allows items with federally approved ingredients like hemp seed oil and protein powder. Now, a final vote is expected in the next few days. If it does get through and get the thumbs up, then that sets up a showdown with the House, which has support from hemp industry members and from Governor Abbott, who, remember, vetoed a similar ban earlier this year during the regular session.
The heat is on in all the greater Houston area, but there is a shortage of HVAC technicians to install and repair air conditioning units.
That is not something we want to hear right now. The Houston Gulf Coast Building and Construction Trades Council is working to change that, recruiting now for a free class to prepare candidates for paid apprenticeships. Consumer reporter Heather Sullivan joins us with much more this morning. Hey, Heather.
Good morning. The U.S. Labor Department reports 110,000 HVAC technicians are needed nationwide, while 25,000 leave the field each year as many baby boomers are retiring. Well, the Construction Trades Council is looking for apprentices to help fill those jobs.
Grace Chrisman is not sweating her future. She's an apprentice with a company called Energy Mechanical Services, learning to become a certified HVAC technician.
I really like working with my hands. I've been doing HVAC controls, learning a lot of programming, getting to know a bunch of people, working with customers.
So go ahead and put everything, all the wires back on.
She's getting paid while she learns the trade, plus has health insurance and retirement benefits. She graduated from the Houston Gulf Coast Building and Construction Trade Council's MC3 Apprenticeship Readiness Program.
I got to learn about electricians. We got a math refresh, which was very helpful. We got to learn about tools. And then we had career coaches for life.
It's a free 3-week class that prepares candidates for apprenticeships in 13 skilled trades, including HVAC, construction, and pipe fitting. Graduates then complete 5-year paid apprenticeships with benefits.
These students can start out at $21 an hour, not knowing one thing about anything. Getting the MC3 program, it teaches them their tool identification, OSHA 10, safety, CPR, math, everything.
Houston's construction boom is creating high demand for HVAC technicians.
The city of Houston has an expansion of $2.5 billion of our George R. Brown Convention Center. The Harris Health has $2.7 billion worth of work with new hospitals like LBJ and Ben Taub and ambulatory clinics.
And that hot demand has Chrisman feeling cool about her future.
I'd love to teach people in the future everything that I've learned through this company and through the apprenticeship program.
The Apprenticeship Readiness Program is taking applications now. You will find the link and the phone number. I've got it for you on Sullivan Smart Sense on fox26houston.com. It's also on my Facebook and Instagram pages, which are also Heather Sullivan Fox 26. So check it out. These are fields that are in demand and they pay well, and you're not going to take on any, debt for having to be trained in this. So it's really a great opportunity for someone who's looking for this option.
All right. Well, your AC, of course, is going to be cranking for today and actually for the next couple of days, not just because it's going to be warm, but increasingly humid. Yeah, it can get even more humid than it's been. And that's going to result in some rain. So we actually do have rain on the way. This is the outlook for the next 5 days, and breaking it down day by day, you'll notice that even today there's a chance for rain with some isolated storms in the forecast. Some of them actually hugging along the coastline this morning, but a better chance inland between around 2 and 5 o'clock. Scattered storms a bit more widespread tomorrow and likely for Saturday. I'll tell you, the Saturday-Sunday forecast is a little tricky, so we're not super confident about the timing of all that, but between Saturday and Sunday, a pretty good chance for showers, and then hanging around for Monday too. So this is a bit of a pattern change for us, isn't it? So that'll help with the temperatures just a little bit. Currently, it's mostly cloudy. It is 80 degrees. We have a high dew point. We have a feels like value of 85 degrees. And temperatures are not quite as cool and refreshing as they were yesterday. Out to the west, we actually had some upper 60s yesterday for Brenham and for Columbus. Now you're about 74 in Brenham. In Houston, lots of 80s. Now, Bush Airport is yet to cool down after hitting 101 yesterday, the hottest day of the year at that location. Most other spots were in the middle and upper 90s yesterday. So here's a look at what's been happening out to our east. Now, this is weakening, and it's also moving out mainly to the south, heading out offshore. But there is some thunderstorm activity right there around Crystal Beach, and it does look like it'll hang together long enough to make it to like the east end of Galveston Island, the harbor area, Stewart Beach, maybe even a couple rumbles of thunder around Texas City coming up here within the next 30 minutes or so. So watch out for that. The rest of the area pretty quiet. We are just moving along right as expected, as we talked about a couple of days ago. High pressure in Florida, high pressure moving out here to the west, and we're in this area known as the weakness in the ridge, and that's where we could see some thunderstorms today. Also, by the way, if you happen to have friends, family, you're traveling, maybe you're watching us on Fox Local, really serious weather expected later today for D.C., for Philadelphia, for New York City, all under the threat for heavy rain and flooding today. In our forecast, about 30% today, 40% tomorrow, and then watch out for off and on showers and storms this weekend.